Something I've always loved about Mario Wonder's badges is that many of them are abilities taken straight from character or game-specific abilities in the past. Parachute Cap is from various gliding power-ups, Fast Dash is from Toad's higher speed, and most interesting to me probably is the floating high jump, which is Luigi's higher, floatier jump in some games like Mario 64 DS. But it seems to be more specifically inspired by New Super Luigi U. Guess what? Mario Wonder has unused timer functionality. And it kills you! So I got to work. In case you didn't already know, there's a level editor already for the game called Fushigi, and I've been messing around in it for a while, as you may already know from some of my previous uploads, which, by the way, thanks Nintendo for copy striking 3 videos. I'll be re-uploading those soon. Anyway, here's the time-lapse. It's my first time doing this, so the recording is incredibly scuffed. For the first part I tried recording my entire screen and realized that didn't work out too well. So then I only recorded Fushigi in the emulator, which I'd have to minimize every time I swapped from playtesting to editing. I forgot to do this regularly. Now for the level itself. From what I know from Luigi U's levels, their level structure is shorter, and whatever level gimmick is present, they throw it at you immediately because you're, in a rush. So I quickly came up with a relatively simple idea that I thought I could execute good enough. You see these guys? These are lava blobbles, and I'm pretty sure they're only used in one level, the airship in Deep Magma Bog. They're able to fly in any direction because they're used with rails, so I thought they'd look interesting in a lava setting. The common obstacle I had in mind was them jumping, quote-unquote, in arcs, and thankfully rails have an option to make an object go back to the starting point when they reach the end, so it worked. In case you couldn't already tell, this whole video is inspired by Rymia heavily, a well-known modder for most modern 2D Mario games. He's a really good level designer. Like, the stuff he puts out on a bi-weekly basis, pretty much, is really good. Nintendo hired this man, unironically. Before he was modding Wonder, though, he was working on his own Luigi U mod, which is probably what subconsciously inspired me to make a Luigi U styled level instead of a normal one. As you'll notice with this first big flower coin, I decided to make rotating boxes one of the main obstacles, which I'm pretty positive is just one huge subconscious thought from numerous attempts at the Impossible Pack from New Super Mario Bros. 2, which I still haven't beaten, but anyway. Here's where I started using background elements and themed semi-solids from the world instead of just putting terrain semi-solids everywhere. It works really well. And I'm glad there are so many themed semi-solids for each world, because if there weren't, it'd look a lot more boring. Before I started making this level, I actually used to think lava bubbles weren't even in this game, because they also, like the blobbles, show up in one level. It's pretty weird considering they're a very iconic enemy, and the lava world in this game is really big. It has a lot of levels. Ah, this part. I hate it. This part took me 2 hours because I had to figure out how to make something both rotate and move on a rail at the same time. So that was fun. This next part, I went through a lot of trial and error. I wanted to have a cave-like section where you have to switch between a top and a bottom path constantly, and it took me a while. Originally, I was planning on using lava fountains, but then I realized that would have been way too much because that insta-kills you. I eventually settled on lava blobbles constantly spawning in and coming at you from ahead from the bottom, and buzzy beetles dropping down from the top. At this point, I also realized I hadn't put the second big flower coin anywhere, and just kind of shoehorned it into this part, but I think it works fine. For this final section, I wanted to have the player jump on giant buzzy beetles to the end, which was thankfully possible due to the properties in lava, and the fact that in Fushigi, you can resize anything. I will say that there's a huge flaw on this, being that the properties of the beetles don't actually change, so you can still kill them with the bubble flower, completely eliminating your chance of getting through the level. But I decided to keep it as is, because I didn't think it was that bad. yeah, I really don't have anything else to say at this point, so the level's done.